This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com.
Hey everybody, it's your old pal Rob. Now, after playing 11, I wanted to get my hands on a game that I never had a chance to play. And I've heard nothing but good things on. It's, again, from the wonderful people over at Portal. 51st State Ultimate Edition. Now, I knew nothing about this game, believe it or not. But I heard great things about it because it's one of Z's favorite games. And I always wondered, you know what, I need to try that at some point. Boy, am I glad I did. Let's go down to the table. I'm not going to explain everything. There's so many videos out there. But we are going to take a look at this. And then on the other side, I'll tell you what I think. Let's head down to the table. So first off, I'm not going to explain everything here because, this is a game that's been around and people have explained it like a million times and done some amazing playthroughs. As a matter of fact, if you're a big solo fan like I am, definitely go check out the solo variant from Slicker Drip and my buddy, my pal, Beyond Solitaire. They've done a fantastic job, and that's where I really got the itch for this game. And the solo variant, it's just so great, and to play with others is even better. But what you're going to be doing is you are going to be picking one of these cards and picking your gang, more or less. Your federation. You have the Mutant Union, which is cool, the Appalachian Federation, New York, the Merchants Guild. Pick one and then stick with it, and that's what's going to happen. The next thing that's going to happen is it's broken into 4 phases. Your lookout phase. This is where you are going to be drawing your cards in a multiplayer game. It's going to be depending on how many players are playing. Say there's 2 players playing against each other, then you're going to draw 3 cards. You're going to put them face up, and then on the first player going clockwise around is going to pick a card. Like this guy will go maybe take this card, and then the other player would take this one, and then this would get discarded. Then you would do it again. After that, you're going to flip over these cards here. And in the solo game, this is where the solo player is going to really, the AI, whatever card you pick, they're going to get the other one, and they're going to get victory points. So they just jump out real quick, and you have to play catch up, which is really, really fascinating in how it works. Your next thing that you're going to do is your production phase, okay? Whatever is on here, okay, is what you're going to get. For instance, you're going to get 3 workers, and of course the quality is through the roof, okay? You are going to get a building token, okay, 1 brick, and 1 card. So you'll draw a card off the top and bring that, and you will use that. The next thing that happens after your production phase, once you got everything, you can kind of start looking at what these cards are about, okay? If you attack an enemy, okay, and destroy one of their cards, you're going to get this as spoils. If you're going to make a deal, which you're going to pay the cost of this card with a blue token, and you're going to have to sell certain things and do certain things to get that, or purchase with 2 workers one of these, you're going to gain 3 of these tokens, which is allowing you to make a deal. And what the deal does is at your production phase, you are going to be able to get, and you're going to slide that underneath like that. So for this instance, you would be able to get a victory point. So, and when the production phase came, I would get a victory point. Okay, for this one, if I did the deal, I would get a worker, and workers are very important. As you start laying out these cards, depending on what they are, this is a production card. And then this card here also is a feature card. You're going to be building these, and you're going to be trying to use your workers and certain things, and you're going to get certain benefits from the cards, okay? And you're going to be paying these tokens. Like 2 of these is going to pay to bring that out. And when you bring this out, you are going to get whatever is in this particular area during your production phase. Every time. So as you can see, there are different types. This is a wild card. This is a gear, and I'm going to show you all the different things that you could possibly get, and they are beautiful. You're going to get. You got little guns here, and you can use these during your action phase, and I'll explain that in a little bit. The gas cans, the gears, the meeples for your workers, your brick. You're going to try to get these tokens, and if you notice on each one of these production things, as you have things built out here, okay, it's going to cost 3 to destroy one of these cards. So you're going to have to try to find a way to get these kind of destructive cards. Well, that's where you're going to take some workers and buy this thug card, which is going to give you, if you had one of these guns, you can spend one of these and get 3 of these tokens. Now, what's that going to do? In this particular area, you would be able to pay this and then destroy this, okay? And you get the spoils for it. That's where you get the spoils for. And it turns to rubble. So now on their turn, they're going to have to try to figure out, okay, I'm going to have to rebuild this and use certain actions and use all their resources. If you do not use all your resources at the end of the turn, they completely go away until the next turn. So once everybody passes, that's going to kind of trigger where that's going to go. Your action phase, you're going to be trying to spend certain things to get certain tokens to build. You want to make sure that you build out, because all these cards are going to add up to getting you victory points. And the idea is to get to 25 first. The first person to 25 is going to trigger the end game. Everybody finish their turn, and then you will count up all the victory points that you have, meaning the cards in play. You got to remember, they're trying to destroy you, you're trying to destroy them, and you're trying to build a machine here. Build your federation and your pack to become the strongest, to get the most victory points, because you will add all that up, and whoever has the highest will win. The solo bot works very well because they're going to constantly be getting cards every turn. And when they get cards, it just goes, they don't even have to pay for it. So they are just getting and collecting victory points, and they are getting way ahead of you, because another neat mechanism during the solo game, which I just want to tell you, and you can watch Beyond Solitaire's version of this, because she does just a fantastic job with it, is that if you turn over one of these cards and it matches one of their symbols, well, they're going to get 2 victory points for destroying your that particular building. So they start moving up very, very quickly, because every turn they're going to start off with 2 victory points. You've got to figure a way on how you can catch up, maintain, build, not get your stuff destroyed, and get far enough and protect your stuff that you can get far enough ahead and hopefully hold on and defeat the AI, which is great. But playing against other players is just fantastic, and it just does so much. This is just another Portal game that is just something that's so different and so special. And I've only played the base game. There are in this Ultimate Edition, it comes with all the expansions, which are just absolutely fantastic and just do so many wonderful things. Let's go up top and get my final thoughts on this fantastic game. Yeah, I mean, what can you say about this? The Ultimate Edition, I just played the 51st State Edition. I haven't added in New Era, Scavengers, Allies, Molochs, No Man's Land, Winter, none of that stuff. And I've been absolutely addicted to this. The solo game is just so fantastic. I can see why people talk about this, and this has instantly moved up in one of my top games of all time. I can't stop playing it. It's glorious. It's wonderful. And the thing I take from it, Portal Games is very special, and I'll give you a couple of reasons why. Ignacy, it's a Polish company. I am of Polish descent. My wife is Polish descent. My children are about as Polish as you can imagine. And to see a Polish company successful, it means a lot to me, okay, personally, heritage-wise. But the guy's a nice guy. I've met him before. He's always been kind to me. He's always been very nice to me. And I will say this, I should have gave his games more time, but there's something that I've learned here. I have the original edition of Robinson Crusoe. I want that collector's edition. I'm going to get that. Just because I'm in such a tear with Portal games. The next thing I'm going to try is Hiroshima Hex. I never got to play that either because every time it would be sold out or out of print. The point I'm trying to get to is games like this and Robinson Crusoe, I think deep down there is something within Ignacy that creates these wonderful experiences. Talking about testing a human's will, okay, a group's will, whether it's apocalyptic or on an island. It's how they overcome things, how they work together, to, collecting resources and things like that, and figuring out how to make it through some of the worst times ever. And it speaks to, as the way I play the games, it speaks to how he feels that mankind can always overcome so many things. Especially with our particular, we were always the first to fight in World War II. And we always were brave and overcame things. And you sense that in these games. An immense pride in humanity. That no matter what is thrown at you, you will overcome it. Now, maybe I'm looking too much into it, but I mean, that's what I get from this. And it's done so well. How the groups figure things out, the cards, how you're building a society out of nothing. And, of course, at the very heart of it, the mechanics, which are fantastic, which are just simply, hey, oh, by the way, victory points, and how you go about gaining resources and things and working to try to build your community up to overcome that and get to 25 before anybody else. And just a masterful game. And I can't believe it took me this long to play it. It shows you too many games come out, and a lot of gems. Like this one didn't get lost, but it got lost for me. And all I can say is thank you, Ignacy, for making such a wonderful game that made me think, and I like that. And it's just beautiful. What more can I say? If you have a chance, go out and get 51st State, the Ultimate Edition with everything included. It's beautifully produced. It's a wonderful game. Solo or with a group, I think you can't lose. Until next time, it's your old pal Rob. We'll see you soon, everybody.